I think we are live on YouTube. And I would love a confirmation from somebody that that is so. Good afternoon. How is everyone? Hey, Chris. Carl. Tuck. Paul. You guys are awesome. So, Tuck, we're good on YouTube, right? Excellent. Welcome. Hi, everyone. What an awesome Sunday. Kevin, how are you? Zero lag? Wow. I don't know how that works. I'm live on YouTube. Thank you, Chris. Art, which is actually Wes. Hello. I'm starting to learn everybody's names to connect it with the thing and the other thing. It's a whole... Hey, Adam's here. Hi, Adam. If you guys have not been following Adam the Machinist on the YouTubes, you need to. That little tool holder you showed was the cutest thing I ever saw. A hydraulic tool holder the size of a thimble. It was awesome. Well, we have had an awesome day going here today. I'm going to lower this just a little hairy tad. Just hang in there with me. All right. So we're doing the price wasn't cute. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, isn't it supposed to be when things get smaller, they get cheaper? I thought that's... No? No? Adam the Machinist, what's his channel? Hey, Adam, put in chat the exact name of your channel. I have YouTubers wanting to know. I think Paul is joining with both hands at this point. Hey, Kevin. Good afternoon. Okay, so Adam the Machinist, we're waiting on his reply. I seem to recall it was almost exactly the same as his Instagram name, but I'm awaiting confirmation. You had to go look. So it's Adam the Machinist, but no underscores. Just jam it all together. Adam the Machinist. And that's okay. I got it. don't sweat it. So yeah, happy afternoon. So it's been a very interestingly busy weekend. Yesterday was Taekwondo in the morning, and then Stones in the afternoon, and then I quit at a normal time, which is crazy. And then today it's been Stones all morning, and to good effect. So I finished the 6-inchers. I think I posted a laser engraving photo. No, I posted something. Anyway, 6s are in stock, 5 sets done, packaged, ready to go. 4-inchers are over there, and we have a bunch not quite finished. So they'll be finished today and packaged. If those things are done today, and I'll be very happy. I got more to do, but I'll push it out a little bit. And I do have 4-inch orders I got to get out, so that's why it's a priority. Dave Beardweird, thank you for joining us. Your family name sounds familiar. Sound is very good on YouTube. Excellent. So those of you who are regulars, and you're more to be pitied than envied, will understand that maybe the last 3 lives, or is it only 2 lives? 2 lives and a random episode has been spent on technical issues. And I'm happy to say that I think we've sorted all the technical issues. In fact, today was a very interesting thing because it was the first time on the YouTube side that I started a previously scheduled YouTube live from OBS, and there was a little bump in the road, but it was fine. So I should have practiced that, and I didn't. It was the previous scheduling thing that was a little bit of a question mark. So, yeah. So that's what's going on here. The weather is awesome, and it was really nice yesterday, too. I looked at yesterday's solar electric generation. It was 68 kilowatt hours and a very pretty curve, which meant we didn't have any clouds. Interesting thing about the solar electric generation, it's actually better when it's colder, which is not a big surprise. So it's a little warm out. So when it gets a little warm out, the efficiency comes down. But, you know the old saying, make hay when the sun shines? We make stones when the sun shines. So if we use the electric as we generate it, we're basically getting it at wholesale. You know, if we sell that into the grid, then the grid pays us wholesale in credits. But if we use energy from the grid, we pay retail. So there's literally a 30% difference. So we like to run the machines when the sun is shining. Hey, Arcturus, welcome aboard. So the sun is shining, and we're using electric. We got the 3D printers going, we got the laser going, we got the grinder going. Although I did not start a cycle because we were doing this to save us from the noise. So that's what's going on. Very pleasant, busy weekend, and I had a buddy of mine come over with an RV project. He has I forget what you call it. The one that you drive around is a class something. Somebody fill me in on that. But it's a Ford chassis, very nice RV. And I'm helping him solve some problems with a scooter mount on the back. So we scratched our heads and took some measurements, and there'll be some fun stuff involved. A little bit of outsourcing for some metal bending and a little bit of welding and helping out a neighbor and a fellow Taekwondo grandmaster. He's awesome. So that was also happening today. So it's a weight off my shoulders that we got all this tech figured out. And I'm very happy about that. And I'm happy to share with anybody who wants to know what I learned. Only if you ask. I'll share with you what I learned. I think the most important lesson was the audio, and going with a professional grade microphone mattered a lot. So, hi guys. I was literally just having lunch. Kabonk, welcome aboard. Hey, Alex. Welcome, Alexenko. Ukraine is here. Now we can start. We were waiting for the Ukraine to be represented. So, anyway, that's what's happening around here. The name of the live today was arbitrarily chosen, but fairly humorous. Perseverance, Fortitude, and I don't even remember. So, pressing on. One of the things that is a common thread in creating... oh, that's Fad Radcater. Welcome, Fad Radcater. Now you guys have two channels to confuse me on. Oh, random question. It's time. The time for random questions is always. Random question. The gray dimpled sorbent roll right there behind me. I'm catching it on both cameras. Do you use it for anything in particular other than absorbing oil or coolant, etc.? I was just browsing Granger to buy. So I buy it from McMaster-Carr because I am, forever a customer of the McMaster-Carr. It's not pig brand. but it's whatever brand they sell. And I use it. It's a general purpose thing in the shop. So like on the grinder, for example, when I take my new big shield off and I go to put it down, it always has drips of coolant on it. There's a piece of, one of the pieces of the absorbent material on the floor. The corner of the plexiglass goes right down on that. So yeah, it's a general purpose. Use it everywhere. It's not a specific thing, although it does get used. And then it's for the usual emergencies, but it is used in normal processes around here, and it lasts a long time. I also use it around the the lathe because I own an older TL1, so it doesn't have the full enclosure. And if you use coolant on a older TL1, you are taking a shower. So there's drips and stuff, and I've got a piece of. Can you see it? No, you can't. You can't quite see it. I have a piece of rain gutter fashioned to catch a bunch of drips. So it's used a lot at the lathe. Welcome, Mr. Croteau. On YouTube, you are not backwards. Left is left, right is right. On iOS, yeah. And there is no lag. Excellent. Yeah, that is a thing. I wish there was a setting in the Instagram Live, in the Instagram app, to say, don't mirror me, like to make me feel better as I'm looking at my screen. I have my other screen over here on the computer, and I can, it doesn't bother me too much. So YouTube is, so you could, on YouTube, you can read box, and on Instagram, it says Shirapu. That was Klingon. Yeah, good question. So the whole art of perseverance and pushing forth is something that is very important to what I would say is engineering. And today we call it, well, it's still called engineering, but it's also making. All of our makers. How do you design something? Like we were looking at the RV scooter bracket, and the way you design something is you get out a piece of cardboard and you cut it out and you tape it up, and you get another piece of cardboard and you tape that to that. You scribble on it, you make some measurements, and when you're all done, you have this, crazy prototype made out of junk. And now you take that back and you turn that into a drawing, and then you start making it. You begin with crap, and you just start making something. And I think and then you keep going until it's excellent. My making of PFG Stones started, looking back on it, it started very crudely, and now it has gotten very refined, and that took time. Correct. Kevin calls it CAD, cardboard aided design. That's exactly what it is. So, in fact, sometimes I get shipments of stuff, and it comes in particularly big or glorious boxes, and I will save the cardboard for the next CAD project. Yeah, Indiana John says, this reminds me of something I remind myself a lot. Always test on scrap. Yeah, I would agree with you, but I'd say design on scrap, right? Design on, pick something and design with it. Make something crappy out of it, and then make it better. Sometimes that process happens in hours. Adam the Machinist says, I love a good sheet of cardboard. There's nothing better than a good sheet of cardboard. Reverse engineering. Know your critical dimensions first. Exactly. Paul says, I was thinking of using it as drawer liners for my metal drawers to help combat rust. I have something to tell you about this. So allow me to divert. I know it's not like me to branch off into some other topic. So I have the absorbent material, and I do use it as drawer liners in that cabinet. Here's what I learned is that if you have your lathe chuck sitting on the absorbent material and you're all proud of yourself because it's absorbing the oil and the coolant and the stuff that's coming off the lathe. If you come back in a couple of weeks, a lot of times I've lifted up the thing and it has stuck to the mat. And now I got to clean it off. So my modified hasty drawer, I can't speak, material is that stuff and then a paper towel. I find that the paper towel does not break down and stick to the thing. And that's what I'm using. So if you open up my drawers, you'll see absorbent mat and then paper towel, and that does work. Your mileage may vary. Let's see. I just had a call come in on my iPhone. I wonder if that looked like an interruption to you guys on Instagram. Paul says that's almost exactly the type of drawers I have. Yeah. So I would just beware of using wow, my phone's doing some funky stuff. Is Instagram okay? Kevin says, do your drawers smell like industrial berry flavor? LPS2. Yes. Yes, they do. I actually use more LPS1 than I do LPS2. I use LPS1 on everything, and I used it yesterday. I have a squeeze bottle that I refill from the gallons. I love LPS1. So, yes. You will smell LPS1 around. And if it smells the same as LPS2, the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Let's see. Abbas just joined. Welcome. Yeah, so starting an engineering project, you cut a piece of metal. I like Jay Pearson's philosophy. He says he designs everything 3 times. And just expect to throw the first one out and expect to throw the second one out. And by the time you hit the third one, you're probably good. Kevin does not think that LPS1 smells as good as 2. I think you just come up with a topic for next week. I think we'll have some sniff tests. But nothing smells as good as Marvel Mystery Oil. Right? Marvel Mystery Oil smells the best. Yeah, Robin said something similar. Don't go with your first design. It's true, because once you get some experience with your design, you're going to make changes, and you're going to learn from the experience. Chris, the practical machinist, says LPS 3 smells amazing. So maybe we have a little battle going here. We'll have to check. But Indiana John is agreeing with me. Marvel Mystery Oil is the best. Yeah, Kevin says it's wintergreen. It might be wintergreen, but I like it. Did experiment with cardboard with the WD-40 cleaning stones trick. So if you haven't been following along, one of the tricks for stone cleaning is to take a piece of cardboard, unadorned brown corrugated cardboard, spray it with WD-40, and then put your stones on it, and it will clean out the schmutz. And he says silicon carbide clover to get rid of crap on a flea market right angle. Oh, so he used that trick in combination with some clover compound, which is silicon carbide, to get rid of crap on a flea market right angle block before magic plate. Nice. I like it. So another use for the corrugated cardboard trick. Another vote for Marvel Mystery Oil from Indiana John. So, yeah, cardboard. Yeah, Octane did a little reel, a little post of the cardboard trick. It's been shown a number of times, and well, I know I've done videos on just different ways of cleaning stones, and that's a good one. I like that one. It's very low impact. The Kevin says the Lapzetti cardboard version. So if you don't know, I took Robin's lesson to heart, and I have a lapping plate right behind me, and I adhere some 220 grit. 120 grit. Actually, I don't remember if it's 120 or 220, and I use it as a rough lapping. And Robin, we've named it the Lapzetti plate. So Adam, the machinist, says this is good. This is a good one, Adam. Oftentimes, die components need a polished surface, but not all the fussy of flatness. The quick trick is some diamond compound on cardboard and rub your part on it. So that's coming from your favorite tool maker in Ohio. That's awesome. Okay, we have another random question coming in. Paul Morley says, another random question. PFG stones. I don't recall hearing you mention using them as a burnishing polishing method on lapped metals, but it seems to work well. Thoughts? Well, if you've lapped the metal, aren't you done? Because what a PFG stone is going to do after an operation like grinding or lapping is going to show you the defects in what you just did. And when I think about lapping, I think about it as a final process. So I don't think it'll hurt anything. And frankly, if it works, if it accomplishes a goal for you, you're done. So I don't see it as a downside. By the way, while we're talking a little bit about lapping, I'll point out that my lapping plates that I've cut and lathed, I wanted to trigger some people, have not progressed yet. They're still sitting in that drawer right there, and I haven't had time to get to putting my grooves in. And actually, I did have a little conversation with Robin Renzetti, and he likes a shallow V groove on those, and I'm working toward that. I might actually be grinding the tool to make the shallow V groove, and then I have to go get on the mill and do that. So I mean, there's a million ways to do it. Turned? No, it's not turned. It's lathed. Or Kevin is suggesting turnt. It's whatever. I too say the word turned, but I like lathed because it triggers people. Anyway, that project is somewhere in the pipeline. We haven't gotten there yet. So did I answer, Paul, did I answer your question by not answering your question? Anyway, lots of projects in the pipeline. I'm trying to get some things done. The the pragmatic machinist says, I'm lathing some threads right now. Excellent. What is the thread spec that you're lathing, sir? Oh, Conjet has showed up in the YouTubes. Hello, Conjet. Because sounds like lathy work. A couple of days ago, we had a little chat about a die holder because somebody was doing some 632 threads or something on a lathe, had 100 of them to do, and I suggested a die holder, a sliding die holder, and I showed mine. 875-05. Hang on. That's not how we specify a thread, okay? So that sounds like 7/8, 20. How'd I do? You didn't tell me left hand or right hand. And I don't know if it's internal or external. Fad Radcater has joined with both hands. Don't think about that. 7/8, 20. Right hand. Okay, excellent. That's a lovely thread to go at. External. Thank you. Now we're specified. Well, go to it, man. What material? What's your material? We need to know. The assembled masses need to know. I love the lag. Imperial thread descriptors are stupid. Fight me. Nah. Whatever gets the job done. Paul Morley says, I've lapped down to 5-micron diamond paste as an example. Still working on technique, but still many visible scratches. After burnishing on PFG Stones, the mirror finish is significantly higher. Nice. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I was just doing a demo this morning for somebody who came over. They asked, hey, what are these stones? What are these stones you're making? So I did the demo, and that piece of A2. By the way, Adam, the machinist, gave me this piece of A2. It's just this, random scrap of A2 hardened Rockwell 56, and I've been using it for, I could honestly say, years now. And it's my demo plate now. So when somebody comes over and I do the demo on the hardened A2, and that plate right off the grinder was pretty nice. And now that it gets a lot of PFG action, it's getting even better. Steel eventually, aluminum for test. See, that's what we're talking about, Chris. You get a piece of aluminum, you get your threads sorted out, and then you can switch over to steel, and of course adjust your some of your parameters. But outstanding. Aluminum may or may not be cheaper than Delrin, but Delrin's another good thing. Just use a piece of Delrin. Does anybody ever use the blue machining wax for prototyping? I'd be interested to hear that. I actually found the recipe and made my own machining wax. And it's a combination of paraffin and low density polyethylene. And if you guys are interested, I could dig up that information, except I didn't use it that much, so I stopped. I have a box up on the rack with my machining wax kit. But you take low density polyethylene. Yeah, Indiana John, it's exactly for what you'd imagine it's for. It's for prototyping. You cut it once. Exactly. Oh, I see. So Adam the machinist says, no. You program it, you cut it, get it out the door. Okay. Plus it makes... Kevin. LDPE is the drop cloth, the plastic drop cloth material from Home Depot for painting. I don't see it, but that is the LDPE. That plus paraffin, and you get the ratios right, you get the temperature right, you mix it up, and you're done. It is messy. Cold clay for blacksmithing practice. Yeah. But I agree with Adam in that after a while, it doesn't make any sense anymore. I could see if you get into some really weird, intricate CNC stuff, you might want to use it. But anyway, I have my box, my kit up on the shelf. If anybody's interested, we could look up the recipe. I don't remember the ratio of paraffin to low density polyethylene. It does work quite nice though. Hey Firmworks, welcome aboard. Yeah, you have to be a little careful. There's high density polyethylene and low density polyethylene. And I think what you're thinking of, milk jugs. I'm looking for a milk jug. Yeah, so this, which is I think exactly the same as milk jug, is high density polyethylene. If you look on the bottom, it says HDPE. And the drop cloth material for painting at Home Depot, that's low density polyethylene. Also, I think that might be low density polyethylene. Oh, by the way, today we have two things we have to do before we end today. One is what's in the McMaster-Carr bag. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be every week, but we'll play what's in the McMaster-Carr bag. And then the other thing is Mike of the Week. Firmwork says, "What's up, Master of the Stone?" Well, I'll take it. Let's see. We got John from GLG Knife Works has joined us. Thank you for your. Today your John loves jiu-jitsu. John is also a jiu-jitsu. I got to pronounce it right. Jiu-jitero. Welcome aboard. I'm giving waves to a bunch of people. Yes, this will be a fun segment. I have to admit that not every week. So Kevin, grind a notch and break. So even high density polyethylene it's not going to break. It's still kind of gushy, but it's less gushy than that. So yes, we're going to have this segment today. Guess what's in the McMaster-Carr bag? So I had 3D printers, laser, and grinder going at the same time today. And I was thinking about this. That's efficiency, is when you can get a lot of things going in parallel. And then I thought about, I have another project that needs some lathing. I can get the lathe going. But I drew the line. Do we get questions about the McMaster-Carr bag? I like that. Maybe we'll play 20 questions. Oh, thank you for poking me, Kevin. All right, here we have a process question for the hive mind. Have a few hundred 1/16 inch stainless TIG rod to cut to size. Small nips are taking forever. Thoughts on a faster process? Hang on, we haven't started the McMaster segment yet. Let's help figure out Fadradicator's problem. He's got to take some stainless TIG rod. I put it all away. Okay, let's make believe this is stainless, and he's got to cut them, several hundred of them, to a certain length. And he's asking, what's a good way to do that? Tuck, you can't ask question number one, what's in the bag? It doesn't work like that. So, shears with a bump stop. That's kind of cool. Although stainless TIG rod, it should be soft enough; it won't hurt your shears. So I have a metal shear, and it has a fence, and I could see doing that on the metal shear. That's a good way to go. Here, I'm going to give my 2 cents. Soon, Conjet, soon. I think after stickers. So here's a pretty high quality snip. It might be that you're trying to get away from the hand process. So what if you built a stop that clamps onto the handle that, I guess the top one in this case, that's connected to the bottom, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and then you clamp that on, and it had a sliding stop that was roughly parallel to the snips, and now it's just jam it in, pull the trigger, jam it in, pull the trigger. And you can even 3D print it. You can 3D print it. We don't know what the length tolerance is. Dremel with a cutoff wheel. Yeah, I want to do hundreds of those. I'm going to disagree with you on that. Kevin says Beverly shear with a stop. I want a Beverly shear just because it's cool, but I don't need one. Firmworks says piece of wood with dowel for alignment. Yeah, let's slice her up. Redshift, welcome aboard. I like all these ideas. So you might even be able to come up with a... Oh, okay, here's another one. Oh, I like this. So you see how on my cutters, on this side, you see how there's a nice big surface here? And on the other side is the center portion that joins that surface. You see how it does, the center moves with this side? So you can clamp. You can put a clamp right there, right? So now what if you put a clamp right there with a Z-shaped, Z-bent piece of sheet metal? Done. Hey, GLG Forgeworks is with us. Welcome aboard. You appear to be a new member of the group. Wink. Wink. Firmworks says tape a bundle together. Actually, the idea of taping a bundle sounds like more work, but maybe you can tape, lay them out, tape a bunch of them, jam them in the metal shear, and go ka-tunk, and you might be. Hey, John. Oh, Kevin, this is excellent trivia. Stand by for excellent trivia. Kevin Blodgett says, my buddy who makes brass instrument bells, that's the end of a brass instrument, bought the old Beverly Shear building in Chicago. So we need pictures. We need to post pictures. So anyway, I think we have some good ideas here, but I will leave you with my idea. Is I have these small-sized cant twist clamps. It could be a little C-clamp, but a small cant twist will probably clamp right on that center line, and then a piece of bent aluminum, and you have yourself a stop. There you go. Let's see. Fat Radcator says it's 70.5 millimeters. What's the tolerance on that, Fat Radcator? Because if it's a 10,000th of an inch, we have a problem. You are welcome. Many thoughts. So John of GLG Forgeworks says, what are we tackling today? So, so far, we've helped Fat Radcator figure out some ideas for cutting out hundreds of short lengths of stainless TIG rod, which is not a trivial problem. Almost Machining says, yeah, length matters in terms of alternate methods. If you have a bandsaw, you can make a wood vise and bandsaw a few at a time. Saw a groove in the wood for each rod, slide it, clamp it, Blaga blaga. Or Art That Makes Art, also known as Wes. Jeweler's lathe with a bar feeder. Actually, a bar-fed lathe. I think you need to call up our friend with the bar-fed lathe. Okay, so Indiana John is getting excited about the what's in the McMaster bag. So we have 2 McMaster bags. All right. They are related. And I think we'll start with the big one, which was line number 1. Okay? And I will take questions. Except the question, what's in the bag? And then we'll start opening up the bag. So first I'll give you a silhouette. Are they non-ferrous? No, it's ferrous. Is it brass? It is not brass. Oh, wait a minute. I have to check. It is both ferrous and brass. Is it a pneumatic tool? It is not a pneumatic tool. Is it magnetic? It is partially magnetic. Is it Almost Machining says, is it an adjustable reamer? No. You went right in for that, didn't you? Is it a tool? Yes. It is a tool. Ding, 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 ding. Adam the Machinist. Are you like a mind reader this morning? Is that how we roll? Adam the Machinist says, is it a adjustable bore lap? Did you say adjustable or did you just say bore lap? You said, is it a bore lap? And the answer is yes. It is a bore lap. We have a winner. It is an inside lapping tool. Yes. So let me show you what this looks like. You guys got that so quickly. As a hive mind, I had to check to make sure that the part number wasn't on the front of the bag. Hey, McMaster is using this this sticky bubble wrap. Sticky on one side. Let's save a piece of that. And oh, you're going for brand now? Adam says this is Acro brand. Okay, did you just buy one of these, Adam? Because it's Acro brand. It's an Acro lap 5/8-1 from Acro Tool and Die Works in Arlington Heights, Illinois. And there you go. So this is in support of my balancing stand project, which a lot of people are yelling at me about. And I wanted a 5/8 inch hole for reasons. And it looks pretty cool. Let's take it apart. So we have that's the expander. Okay. So it has a little conical section. And there's even a little bit of brass blush on it. And I have to admit, the surface finish on the expanding section is nothing to write home about. It's a turned surface that might get ground. So Kevin Blodgett says, I use those for repairing piston valves. Used one this week on a POS trumpet. By the way, if you're not familiar with brass instruments, and there's a brand of trumpet known as the POS trumpet. Kevin says also, I got it before Adam. Fight me. No, I'm not going to fight you. There's lag. Adam got it on Instagram. You got it on the YouTubes. All right, let's take it apart. So the arbor is an arbor. It's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. And oh, very interesting. Okay, so this is a solid piece of brass, but you'll notice that the slots do not go all the way through. It's just all the way through the fat piece. So when the expander goes in, it's making this fatter like that. So it's going to put a bulge in it. Okay, Adam says, pro tip, preload that sucker and turn it to the desired bore size. Don't worry about finish. That's why we're here, Adam. You are awesome. I get it. That also means I could buy a kind of biggish one and turn it down. Well, I easily can get 60 thousandths smaller on this. You preload, oversize, and turn it down. That is brilliant. So there you go. It consists of three parts. Makes me think that a guy could make one of these. The arbor, the expander with its rough surface there. I'm not happy about that. Can you guys see that? I might kiss that in the... I know, call me crazy. And then the brass part. And the brass part is distinguished by the thin slots. And also the conical inside surface that this guy's working against. There you go. So yeah, the goal is to make a... otherwise you get very small contact section in the middle. Okay, so let's listen to what Adam says. He says, I preload oversized and turn it down. Otherwise, you get a very small contact section in the middle. That's what we were intuiting, which doesn't yield the most cylindrical bore. Or, as he typed, Borev. Indiana John says, I'd chuck the expander up in a cordless drill and buzz it with a sander. It might work. Almost Machining says, light charge, use oil, watch bell mouthing. Don't forget to thumbs up, guys. That was from Kevin. No, that was from Fat Radcater. So there you go. That's a bore lap. And so the idea is I'm going to drill and turn a part in A2, and then I'm going to harden it, and then I'm going to lap the bore, because I do not have a Sunin hone. Does anybody want to give me a Sunin hone, please? Don't. I don't have floor space. So that is the first of our McMaster-Carr contest. Are the contents of the other bag a thing of lapping compound? Okay, we're going right into the second round of guess what's in the McMaster-Carr bag. The first question was, are the contents of the other bag a thing of lapping compound? No, I've got lapping compound to spare. I'm going to take the bubble wrapped item out of the bag. Kevin says the honing machines are relatively cheap. The stones, arbors, etc. aren't. I could believe that. Good guess. Indiana John says smaller laps? Question mark. No. Reamer. No. Reamer was a good guess. I think the answer is no. course, you're expecting me to remember what I ordered. Okay, that's fascinating. I did not expect that. So Indiana John is gonna win, and here's why. Indiana John wins. It is a smaller lap, except it's not supposed to be. Either I ordered the wrong size or they sent me the wrong size. Something is amiss. Yeah, I think something's wrong here. I think this is the correct size that I ordered. I think this lap is the wrong size. It's too big. It looks like 3/4. So my mistake. Indiana John wins. It is another lap. I was ordering a spare, but it looks like I screwed up. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. This is the one I also got. Now, it's not the end of the world, and I probably won't return it, but I will investigate what the heck happened. This guy is $8.25. So that's 7/8, and the other one is 5/8. Are they interchangeable? Yes, they are interchangeable. So let's interchange them. I don't mind having another size. I'm just kind of embarrassed / surprised that I... Oh, you know what else I just learned? Oh, I just learned something. I'll show you in a minute. So that guy goes, yeah. Ready to rock and roll. So they are interchangeable. You know what's even cooler? They're completely symmetrical. So this side here has the conical hole for the expander, and so does this. This is for YouTube right there. So they're reversible, and I just confirmed both of them. Both of them are reversible. So you could put either side on the arbor and either side on the expander. KR Blodgett, Mr. Kevin Blodgett says, Adam, when turning those laps, do you chuck the arbor in the lathe or just the lap? I would use the arbor to take out any error there. Yes, the idea posted earlier should be epic, so you can return it. Return it. Yeah. That's why we're going to say we're going to relathe it. So there you go. Bore laps from McMaster-Carr, manufactured by Acro Tool and Die. I have some toys to play with. I'm looking forward to it. That was kind of fun. So we promised we'd play the What's in the McMaster-Carr game, and now we're going to play the Mic of the Week. And if you guys have questions, if you're on a phone and you have a little question button at the bottom, go ahead and use it. If you're on the YouTubes or you don't have that little thing, just put it in the chat and we'll do the best we can. So ask any questions about anything while I go look for the Mic of the Week. I'm trying to decide which is the one for this week. Actually, I thought about it. Where is it? There it is. No, that's not the one. It's kind of weird. I'm looking. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, I have the mic of the week. Yes, Almost Machining says, wait, in keeping with the triggering, relathing the brass to size. Yes, we're going to relathe it. Art That Makes Art, also known as Wes, says, what do you use to program your CNC machines? Let's all say it together. Fusion 360. I also have I'm fully licensed on SolidWorks. So years ago when I started in the CNC game, I started with SolidWorks plus CamWorks. And when pretty quickly after Fusion 360 came out, I was paying $2,000 a year in licensing for what we now call adaptive, okay? Just for the adaptive feature. Is that correct? I think so. Well, let's just say I was paying about $2,000 a year in maintenance for the CamWorks plus the adaptive thing that they had a fancy name for. And Fusion 360 came out, and Fusion 360 was $300 a year, and it had all the cam. And I said, that's crazy. So I jumped, and I fired CamWorks. By the way, my resellers for CamWorks, nicest people in the world. The CamWorks capability, totally fine. But there was no way I could justify spending 5-6 times the cost of Fusion 360 just to keep CamWorks inside of SolidWorks. Don't forget, I'm also paying maintenance on SolidWorks, which was $1,200 a year. So that was gone. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Welcome aboard. So that answers that question. We had another question come in, and we'll do that before we get to Mic of the Week. So this is a really good question, and it's also good that we have Adam in here. He may opine, and others may also opine. Indiana John says, can you talk about surface grinder wheel thicknesses? When and why to use 1/2 inch versus 1/4 inch wheels? I like this. This is good. So I've had 3 surface grinders. My current surface grinder can hold the biggest wheel of any of the ones I've had. It's an 8-inch. It can do an 8-inch diameter wheel, and it can do, I think, a 1-inch thickness. When the machine came from the factory, they gave me a white wheel, which was 8 inches, and it was 1 inch wide. And it did a really super job. And I loved the results of the wider wheel on just, big flat work. Some of the things to think about is you can rough faster with a wider wheel. That's a thing, right? So you could use that whole inch wide pass and to rough, and then move over 1 inch and rough. So that's one reason. You need more horsepower for the same depth. Those are all things. Also, you're going to get, if you think about it, you're going to get a better finish because you've already gone over the grind. And then the other side of the equation is if you're doing a narrow thing, you need the narrow wheel. So you kind of don't have a choice. You also need potentially different hubs or adapters. That's a thing. So if you have a small surface grinder like a Harrig 612, for example, getting anything wider than a 1/2 inch wheel is probably not worth it. So, but for example, I bought recently, I discovered the Norton 5 SG wheel. So I'm sorry, SG 5, I think it is 5 SG, which is a gelled ceramic, I think they call it, and I love it. It does cast iron, it does stainless. It really is a good all-around wheel. And I tried the first one in a 1/2 inch width, and I just bought a couple of them in 3/4 inch width. So I kind of like having a wide wheel just for big flat stuff. So that's my opinion. I'm open to hearing about others' opinions. Adam, if you want to chime in here on the whole wheel width thing, but I think it's kind of job dependent. I recognize that we're at the top of the hour. So did I answer your question, Indiana John? Or did I just start trouble? Okay, Adam the Machinist pipes up. He says, narrow wheels for tight slots, of course. Some low, rigid, heat-sensitive applications call for less contact, so less contact area, or less contact approach. A less contact approach and a narrow wheel can help. But just for flat grind, go as wide as your machine can handle. Excellent. Indiana John says, I mostly surface grind balisong blades. They're around 1 inch wide and 5 inches long. Should I stick to using 1/4 inch, or can I use a 1/2 inch and only do a few passes with bigger step overs? So bigger step overs generally will result in poorer finish. Kind of no matter what. But in the roughing phase, wider wheel, bigger step over might be faster. So I think Adam's point about a smaller contact area makes less heat. So if the heat is going to be a problem, then a narrow wheel and many passes is going to be, you can argue that it's going to be the same total heat, but lower instantaneous heat. Does that make sense? And that's just me amplifying what Adam said. But I think it makes sense. So think about that. Okay, another question popped in. How are dressing sticks used with surface grinders? Indiana John says the heat can definitely be an issue with 1/8 inch thick steel. Yeah. So you could also make the argument that for a given finish, you're going to have to spend the time with small step overs anyway. I have a whole thing up here to talk about grinder wheels, and it's for a future date, and I might actually consult with some of the grinding gods before we have that discussion. Okay, dressing sticks. When you say the words dressing sticks, I think of two things. One is a Norbide stick, which is the stick of material which is manufactured in the flames of hell. It costs about 30, 40, 50 bucks, maybe more, for a little teeny stick of this stuff, but you can use it to manually shape your wheel, and it's not diamond. It might as well be diamond. Deflagrate, I see your question. We'll get to it. Okay, Adam says it's silicone carbide or silicon carbide. I'm not sure which. But I would guess you mean silicon carbide. So that is, you could argue that that's a dressing stick. I use it occasionally if I dress for example, aluminum oxide wheel, and I'm worried about any boogers hanging off the edges. I'll kiss the corners of the wheel, and then I will run a piece of wood over the whole thing and make sure the boogers are gone. So I use it kind of like a little chamfering tool by hand. I haven't done that in a while. And also, it could be used for shaping. So if you have a machine where you've dressed the side of the wheel because you're going to be side wheeling, and you want to now relieve, leave a quarter inch, but you want to relieve the rest of the wheel, you can go in there with a Norbite stick and just literally manually carve it out. I don't call that a dressing stick. I call it a Norbite stick. So a dressing stick is usually a white stick. It looks like a white wheel material. It's aluminum oxide, and it's used for dressing a resin bond diamond wheel after truing. So if you use a diamond wheel dresser, that we've talked about this before, or a brake controlled dressing device from Norton, it's a little aluminum oxide wheel with a spindle and a brake, and you run your resin bonded diamond wheel over it. You can dress that wheel, and it's like knocking diamonds out with a baseball bat until it's flat, but it's not ready to work. It's not ready to grind. So that's truing. Thank you, almost. That's truing, but then you have to dress. So you come in with your dressing stick and you jam it in there, and what it does is it will remove the resin around the diamonds, right? So right now the diamonds, it's like an asphalt road, and you have the gravel in the asphalt, and the gravel and the asphalt are all the same level. When you jam that dressing stick in there, you're taking away the asphalt and leaving the gravel, the diamonds, okay? And now the diamonds are sitting there proud of the level of the asphalt, which, by the way, isn't terribly far from what it really is. And now it's ready to grind. So that's how you use a dressing stick. And there's a Norton video, it's on YouTube, from the 70s, showing how to use a dressing stick. And the dressing sticks come in like 6 or 7 inch sticks. And what was really interesting to me is how much of a dressing stick you need to use to do a proper dressing job. It's like most of a stick, according to the video. And that is really interesting. So that's a dressing stick, and that's how it's used. And I don't know which one you meant, but I think we answered the question irregardlessly and hereby notwithstanding. That was for you, Kunjet. Whew. Okay, yes, it is 2:08. And for the mic of the day, I bring you, let's see, I'm going to turn this so you can't see the model number. There's the mic of the day. It is manufactured by the L.S. Starrett Company, Athol, Massachusetts. Kevin Blodgett says, thanks for addressing that. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. So you guys, if you want to guess what kind of mic this is before I tell you, you're welcome to do that. Looks pretty standard. Okay. Looking at the YouTube. YouTube has a beautiful picture. Look at that. Instagram has a completely adequate picture. But if you're on YouTube, boy howdy does that look nice. Okay. This is a model 1230. Come on, focus. There we go. Model 1230 Starrett 1-inch mic. Okay. And what's magic about it is right I'm going to have to call my producer, UFAC. There it is. You see the word right here? This is a stainless steel 1-inch mic. That's why it looks like it's fresh out of an ultrasonic cleaner. This is brand new, never been used. And I bought it because I thought I needed a stainless mic. So everything on here is stainless. Isn't that cool? It's used for corrosive environments. It's as good as the day it left the Starrett factory. It's beautiful. Zero's nice. I haven't put it on the blocks, but I'm sure it's fine. There is one problem with this which I haven't addressed yet, and there's a nut inside here that tightens the tension on the rod, and its threads are a little bit stripped. So I have to replace that one part, but otherwise it's brand new. And Indiana John says, I've never heard of a stainless mic. I know! That's why I bought it. Isn't that cool? It does not have carbide faces. Correct. So if you're in an environment where chemicals or whatever are going to eat your tools, you would buy one of these. And I have the box and all the paperwork. I bought it used. And there's of course, Instagram is going to complain that it's mirrored. Sorry. It's a T1230RL. And isn't that a cool mic? So that's our mic of the day. It comes with an inspection certificate. It comes with the little wrench for tightening the thingus. And it comes with a little manual. Okay. And it's all stainless. So yeah, and I have some good stories about Starrett. It's non-magnetic. Yes. So let's test the non-magneticosity. Right? Here's a magnet. It is magnetic. What does that tell you? If it's stainless steel and it's magnetic, well, what do you think that means? It means it is 400 series stainless. It might be one of the more exotics, but it's probably, yeah. Good, 416 stainless. That it's not all stainless. No, it's all stainless. So I think it is in the 400 series. I can't swear which one. 440C is an excellent guess. Almost Machining says 4 series, probably 416 can be heat treated. All good guesses. I'm not sure which, but it's one of the stainlesses. So that's our mic of the week. I'm going to put it back in the drawer of micrometers. Next week, we'll have another mic of the week, especially if you remind me. And with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're 12 minutes over, but we were having fun, so it's worth it. Everybody have a great week. Have some fun in the shop. Go make something. I'm going to get back to finishing stones. And we'll see you guys next week. All of the YouTube stuff is sorted out. YouTube guys, you're happy? Can I get some feedback from the YouTube guys? I think the Instagram guys, it's pretty much the same as it ever was. Kevin says the mic of the week and guess the McMaster bag with both great games. That means I have to place another McMaster order this week, so we can keep playing that. Thank you, Tuck. You take care. Thanks, Indiana John. Thanks to Adam the Machinist for being the master in the wings, for answering some cool questions. And we appreciate everybody. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Ciao.